Hey guys, how is everyone? We're back here on the 61. This will be the third video on it. If you're not familiar and you just run across it, we had good intentions of putting a Farmer Tech 272 top end on it. It was a no-go. The cylinder wouldn't even fit in the cases. I would have had to modify the cases and took a risk of getting shrapnel on the bearings. Just wasn't worth it. There's some problems with the squish band combustion chamber area of the cylinder I just didn't like. So what we've got here is I've got a modified, didn't have to do a lot of modifications, but 365 special Husqvarna piston. I trimmed the skirts back on it and mainly just done some cleanup work to it, but we got her mounted in the saw now. I did polish the crown of it and chamfer everything. It's just something I like to do. I will say that the piston has a little more slop than, say, a new cylinder or a new piston would in the cylinder, but it's nowhere near as bad as what we pulled out of the saw. I think we'll be okay, but we'll just have to see if it makes a little more noise or chatters a little more. Piston slap is the technical term. Does that a little more than I'm comfortable with, you know, we'll look into getting like a new Meteor piston or something to go in it. But it will be another 365 piston. But what I've also went ahead and done is done some cleanup work to the intake port and exhaust port, and ain't really a lot you can do with the transfers on this. All I've done is a little texture work on them. May even go back and do a little more once it's said and done, but I doubt it. What I'm going to do now is get the cylinder bolted onto the saw, and we'll get a degree wheel set up, and I'm going to pull a port timing on it, and we'll bring you guys back then. Alright guys, I've measured total port duration, and I am going to pull my degree wheel out and put on and find out exactly where the exhaust port's cracking. But what I'm coming up with right now is it's somewhere around 105, 106 degrees. I measured from ray of light, zeroed it out to bottom dead center and back up to the port was closed to no ray of light, if that makes any sense. I do have several ways I'll measure here. I've shown it in other videos, but what I come up with was 150 total open degrees of duration. Like I said, I will put the degree wheel on and double check and see where it's at. If it's around 105, I'm happy with that. Like I said, I've done some cleanup work to the port, but mainly enough just to get what carbon and stuff in it was out and maybe a little more. But once we polish that and finish cleaning it up, should be pretty decent timing number. I'd had thoughts of raising the roof on it, but I think I'll just stick to my better judgment and leave kind of a lower exhaust roof on it and keep all the compression that we gained by taking our time and cutting the material out of the squish band last night. Transfers are opening exactly 20 degrees later, which means they're opening, you know, somewhere around 125 degrees. Like I said, I will put the wheel on and double check this and get, you know, an exact exhaust opening. Intake's a little lazy, but not bad either. I'll do a little more cleanup work to it. It's opening somewhere, I guess, around 72 degrees. We've got, it was 144 total degrees of open time. I'd really rather see it like at 150 or 152 total opening time, if not 155. But what we'll do is clean the floor of that up just a little more, and I don't have to move it much, you know, 20-30 thousandths goes a long way. I'll probably shoot for about 20 thousandths and come back and see where we're at. But the next thing I'm going to do is put the degree wheel on and, you know, triple check this stuff, and I'm sure it's going to be dead accurate with this, but I'll bring you guys back then. Alright Alright guys, I really like that little degree finder. It's just so fast and simple to set up. You know, the numbers I come up with were about exactly what I said they would be with it. You know, it's all simple math in the end anyway. I got my wheels set up and balanced, and that port cracks open right at 105 degrees. Transfers cracked at 125 degrees. The intake port's cracking open at 72 degrees. That's, you know, it's about dead accurate for, you know, with what I said it was going to be with the degree finder. So probably leave this on here. I'm going to whittle around on the floor of the intake a little bit and try to get the intake timing on it a little hotter. You know, once I finish cleaning up and polishing that exhaust port, which I don't have a lot left I'm going to do to it, you know, it could get closer to cracking a little before 105, but you know, those are pretty good numbers, pretty good stout torquey numbers. With the squish band cut, like I said earlier, we should make some killer compression, but I'm going to quit running my mouth, and I'm going to go over and finish port work on this. And, you know, as always, I'll give you guys a look at the cylinder before it's bolted on. I don't really have any real secrets here, but with that said, I'll pause you guys and get this thing wrapped up. Give you guys a look at the port work. This thing should pull like a dang train. It should have some pretty decent RPM to it. It won't be no slouch in the cut. It'd probably be the strongest one I'll build. You know, I know it will be, but all the port work on it turned out real nice. Polish on the exhaust port. Always hard to get that to pick up. You look from the inside, maybe under the light. That always kind of does the trick there, but I'm going to get my intake mounted on this. I'm going to have to use one of these aftermarket gaskets. I'll probably throw a little moto seal and just kind of hope and pray that it seals up and we don't have an air leak around it, and get this thing back together. And the next thing I'll probably bring you guys back and show you probably be the muffler mod, I guess. Then hopefully we should see it running, which you probably already seen it in the cut at the beginning of the video, I guess. Guys, that is no joke. Like 225, 228 PSI. I hope the bearings in the bottom end of it are good. That probably, I don't even know that my big bore 066, I'll have to pull it out and put a gauge on it, and I've not checked that 660 highway big bore, but no joke, I knew it was gonna make some serious compression. I was thinking like 190, 195, but holy shit. I've got the 8-pin on it. It should this thing should pull like a dang train. Muffler mod, I found this big deflector. It was like on an old Predator 212 muffler. I put the screws in it and then put some tack welds around it too, and cut that whole area out that was there. Muffler should have had a deflector on it anyway. I'm guessing it just fell off over time, and then I come in and took a 1/2 inch drill bit, or started small like a 5/16, worked up to 1/2 inch. Cut 2 big holes out in that baffle, and then went in the deburring tool and cut it out, and then deburred it, and we should be ready to go. Should have a real nice pop. Guys, she sounds real nice. gonna try to show you that my gauge is on 0, that I ain't trying to bullshit or cheat anyone. And who knows, it could have lost some of that once it was ran. I don't know. We're gonna find out. Let's see. There's 210. Let me get you guys up where you can see it. So yeah, it's settled down once it's warmed up, and you will lose a little warm, but you can see I'm not bullshitting you. And there probably was some fuel went through. It's probably best close the low jet off when you're checking compression, because you know, if they're warm, they can shoot a little fuel through and wash the cylinder down. But last night it was cold when I checked, and I'm sure, you know, if I let it sit here, you know, 30-40 minutes and cool completely off, that's a brand new gauge. Wasn't a cheap one either.